Welcome to Loogy. I'm your host, Zach, here with Andrew and my old man, Jackie B.
Yo, yo.
We're here to discuss the struggling Mets,
Boy, are they struggling.
who over the last week, 3-6, boys, 3-6, scoring 2.1 runs per game and allowing 2.6, pitching looking great, hitting not so much. Story of the Mets' lives.
The pitching is crazy. Like, it doesn't matter who they're putting out on the mound. They're getting scoreless innings after scoreless innings, and I really don't understand it. It's crazy.
No, it's just one of those things where pitching those kind of performances does become contagious.
Yep.
Nobody wants to be the guy to falter and give up the big runs. And I think that's part of what we're seeing right now. Because as you say, Andrew, everyone's coming on and doing the job.
Yeah, you guys beat the Cubs with some guy I never heard of on the mound. The first game of this week on Wednesday. Who'd you guys have pitching on Wednesday?
Was that Reed Foley?
I think so. Let's see. We got the box score. Yeah, last Wednesday. 6-3, you guys.
What's today? I'm retired. I don't know what today is.
Was that DeGrom's start?
Oh, that is DeGrom's start. Yeah, that's DeGrom's start.
Went 3 perfect.
It must have been the next day. Yeah, 3 perfect innings, 8 strikeouts against 9 batters. He struck out 8 against 9.
We were watching that game together. That game looked special. It's so sad that he had to leave. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was looking like a no was on the horizon there. Well, he was just mowing guys down.
How many innings would he actually have gone? Of course, was that a 7-inning game?
I think that was a full
9-inning game.
Okay,
but he probably only would have went 6, 7. Maybe.
So you guys think if he gets to 6 or 7 in the future, hitless, he's coming out regardless, no matter what?
I think, especially after the couple of injury scares that they just had, I think it's very doubtful that he's going to be allowed to go 9 innings with a no-hitter going. And I don't think he'll want to anyway. I think it'll be up to him in the end. But I think it's doubtful.
What's his pitch count been when he's been taken out lately?
I don't think he's gotten to 100 more than a couple times this year.
No, recently especially, he's been like 60s and 70s. He's been low.
Yeah, coming off the injuries here, the injury scares, I should say. Yeah, he's been kept low, and especially given the condition of the rest of the staff, I don't think there's a lot of interest in trying to prove any points by having him throw 110 plus pitches to get a no-hitter when you're hurting as a staff overall, especially.
Yeah, and you guys' bullpen is deep enough.
Right.
And it also seems like the pitchers are maybe almost being encouraged to right away, as soon as they feel something, mention it. Like even last night, Marcus Stroman, he's in the 2nd inning. I feel like other years, a lot of pitchers would just tough through it, end up being a hip injury, but they were able to convince him, come out of the game. Just with where we're at right now, we can't afford any more long pitcher injuries. And the bullpen's good enough. If you have to give up a game, it sucks, but it's way better for the long run, I think.
Yeah. I think so too. And I think in the case of Stroman, he is playing for a contract. So the last thing he needs is to tough it through some innings and get hurt and then potentially cost himself quite the payday. But other than that, it's still true. I think what you're saying, Andrew, for the entire staff. Although that could start to change a little bit with all the injuries. Now, they were so deep, not only in the pen, but even they had, they knew Giselman could step in, and some other guy, Tommy Hunter, who is now also hurt, could have stepped in. So the guys who could step in now are starting to get a little thinner. So I don't know if that'll change the mentality at all.
Yeah, that's
and the pen will continue to be overworked because the guys that are going to be starting in the place of Lucchesi, et cetera, are going to be guys who aren't going to give you many more than 5.
Yeah, at this point, we're looking at a bullpen game every 5 games.
Yeah, so it's going to be a train back and forth between. It's not Tidewater anymore, is it?
Syracuse.
Syracuse, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to wear out a lot of guys, which is a shame because they just traded Jacob Barnes for a piece.
Yep.
Not much of a piece, but there were a few other guys who could have gone for some pieces here and there who are no longer going to be able to do that with. You're going to have to actually use these guys. Anyway.
How did Zach Wheeler get to the Phillies?
Well,
He-
that's. Go ahead, Andrew.
Well, he was a free agent 2 years ago, I want to say. I really liked him as a Met. He was inconsistent. When he was on, he could have been the best pitcher in baseball. But then he would also just have some starts he'd fall apart. A lot of injuries too. It seems like he's putting it together. I think we gave him the qualifying offer, which he's not going to take $15 million for 1 year when he can get 20, 25. I'm not exactly sure what he got for the Phillies, but I think
25 per.
Yeah, we just weren't willing to offer him the long term, and
yeah, he wasn't consistent originally. Now he's having a good year, and it's like it would have been great to have another. Like, imagine him in the rotation with the guys you've got right now with Stroman, Walker, and DeGrom. That would have been insane.
Well, I think what happened was, I thought in the second half of 2019 in particular, he really started to show his stuff.
Yep.
It was really looking good, and he was in a walk year, so maybe that contributed. But despite that, he was looking really solid, and I think it was just a decision time for the Mets. It was to me, it was either him or Syndergaard.
Yeah.
I personally would have put my chips on Wheeler at that point because Syndergaard is a guy who looked to be, and this is 2020 hindsight, but he looked to be someone vulnerable to injury. My brother who lives in Tampa, Florida, hey, shout out to my brother. He and I both were big Wheeler guys by the end of 2019, and a little more skeptical of. I should have had that last vodka. A little more skeptical of Syndergaard, and that's kind of as I say, it's 2020 hindsight, but.
Yeah,
it was really a Wheeler versus Syndergaard choice, I believe, and Syndergaard obviously he's got that 99 upside going for him, so I think that's what. His ERA with Philly in 2020 is 2.92. This year is 2.36, and in 99 innings he struck out 122 batters.
Yeah, he's striking out the world.
Whip is under 1. But again, who can tell? This is a Syndergaard versus Wheeler at the end of 2019. Yeah, well, either way, you had a winner either way. So,
yeah, and we'll see when Syndergaard comes back. He could be lights out, and it'll be like, well, that was a great choice.
Exactly.
And he's more New York anyway. He's got the look. He's got he's got style.
Yeah, big personality.
Yeah, big personality. He belongs in New York. That guy.
He is 1 year younger, for whatever that's worth. But anyway,
I think that was probably the main thing too. The whole contract is, you have Syndergaard under contract 2 more years. Wheeler's ready to walk.
That's true.
Not really. You're not going to get Wheeler to agree to a 2-year contract. Let you make that decision down the road. So he's gone.
Well, the other element of this is that once they lost Wheeler, they went out and spent their 18 mil on Marcus Stroman. So it almost was not entirely Syndergaard versus Wheeler because you had to replace Wheeler anyway, and so you gave 18 mil or whatever it was to Stroman, which you could have gave to Wheeler instead. But I think, Andrew, to your point, you're right in that they would have had it tied up Wheeler for 4 or 5 years, and that's just something they weren't prepared to do at that time.
Yeah, it's unfortunate he couldn't put it all together 1 year earlier, and we could really see what kind of pitcher he is. Because I think that's probably the main thing is that second half of 2019 he was unbelievable, but it was only half a season, so it's hard to give out that huge contract to a guy that's been inconsistent, and of course now he's put it together and he's been amazing.
Yeah, and you guys got Stroman after that.
Yeah.
So you guys went out and got. We
knew we weren't going to re-sign.
Right. So
Wheeler,
it was room for you guys to sign another guy. which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything to say about a specific game this week, or should we move on to the MLB fact of the week?
Well, I'll tell you what bugs me sometimes about Rojas. Now, I think he's getting better because he was really pissing me off a lot early in the season, the way he was utilizing the pen and getting guys up and down. He has a habit of getting two pitchers up sometimes in a tight game. If they score, they'll bring this guy. If they don't score, bring this guy in. But we were up 5-1 the other day. I forget which game it was. But so he's got May comes in to mop to put away a 5-1 victory.
And maybe?
Yeah. And so I think it was one of the doubleheader games. He gives up a single, and next thing you know, it was the first game of a doubleheader, and Diaz is up and throwing. I'm like, it's 5-1. You've got Brian May, the Queen guitarist. No, not Brian May, the Queen guitarist. The other May up there.
Trevor
May, who's a fine pitcher.
Huh.
Yep.
And now you've got Diaz warming up, and I'm thinking, does this count against pitches thrown when you got Diaz warming up, just giving up a single? I mean, I don't think Trevor May is feeling real good, now this isn't putting a warm, fuzzy feeling into Trevor May's gut when having the ace reliever throwing after you've given up just a single. And then he walked the guy, got a double play, struck out, the game over 5-1, but thinking, why Diaz would, he'll bring in Diaz with a 4-run lead or a 5-run lead. And sometimes it's maybe his turn to pitch, get him an inning or so, get him a little work. And I understand that, but sometimes they're just so bullpen happy with these guys.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I feel like there are a lot of times where he's almost wasting Diaz, like getting him go through his whole thing. He'll come in to get one out to end the game. And
yeah.
I think it's just let the reliever go. If it's really in a bad spot, you got Tyrone second, whatever, sure, bring him in. But yeah, there's a lot of times he just gets him up so early.
And you've got a pretty reliable bullpen. Loop obviously has saved our ass more than once. His ability to get right-handers out, left-handers out, and right-handers out as a left-handed pitcher. But and Castro has been pretty effective too. So yeah, sometimes it's like just let these guys do their thing and not get guys up throwing, especially since, as we know, we have a short staff and the bullpen is going to be called upon fairly often. So I've stopped saying fire Rojas. Probably because the bullpen's so good right now that it's hard to make a wrong move. So I can't say fire Rojas because every time he brings a guy in, they're getting out. So
that changed this week. You finally accepted Rojas as your leader.
I think it's inevitable. They're going to keep him around for a while, but
I mean, he's doing a fine job.
Yeah, he's okay. He gives you that baseball speak in his post-game interviews, and for an old timer, I just want to hear somebody say, rub a little dirt on it and throw it down the middle, and that's.
Yeah, he's pretty by the book.
Yeah, he's extremely by the book, but that's the way they all are now,
Yep.
Boring.
It does get boring. I mean, we all know the moves he's going to make, depending on the inning and the situation, the batter.
Yeah, because
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. The computer tells them what to do. They should just have computer umps, computer managers, computer players. Should just be computerized.
Well, we're pretty much there with all the metrics and
the analytics and all that.
All the analytics, the shifting, and so that's another topic. Shifting is a topic for another day.
Yes, 100%. I definitely want to talk about that later.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the MLB fact of the week. I'm going to sling it over to Andrew.
How many facts of the weeks are there?
It's only one.
Only one?
We have one. If we don't like number one, I do have a backup.
One every 7 days. All
right.
We're ready.
Boo if we don't like it. We'll boo.
No. All right, so it might as well be the Jacob deGrom fact of the week because I think most of them are going to be about him.
Yeah.
So batters against Jacob deGrom in 2021 are hitting 113.
Okay.
Pitchers batting in 2021 are hitting 112.
Ooh.
Hitters against Jacob
That's
deGrom
scary.
have a 148 on base percentage.
Hmm.
Pitchers batting in 2021 have a 153 on base percentage.
Wow. Well, that's a very interesting fact, Andrew. But there's another factoid that you can add to that.
I'm
What's
ready.
that?
If you take away deGrom's numbers,
Yeah. Oh, it'll be way low.
those
Oh,
pitchers'
yeah.
numbers are even worse. So that is
We
incredible
need
fact.
his numbers to be there because it
Oh, well,
makes
that's a
the
good
pitchers
point. We
as
have to leave
good.
his numbers in there to make
That's
the.
true. Pitchers will
He's-
You're
be
right.
worse.
I'm
Yeah, that's true.
sorry. You're absolutely
And
right.
then-
Too many vodkas.
We got Jacob
Do a
deGrom's
reverse
strikeout
math.
rate. Jacob deGrom's strikeout rate. He's striking out 47% of his batters. Pitchers batting are only striking out 45% of the time.
Oh
That
So
my
he's striking out
God.
batters more than
amazing.
pitchers. And
That's
the walk
amazing.
rate is 4% for batters and 4% for pitchers.
So you're telling me it's not fair because Jacob deGrom is essentially pitching against 9 pitchers
He is
every game.
He is turning every major league batter into a pitcher.
I think
don't
that's not fair. Jeez,
Yeah.
Louise.
Wow.
And I mean, if you look at it from the other way, he's carrying the pitchers. You're right with his batting abilities as well. So
Yeah, I know. It's
he's making the
Well-
pitchers look good and the batters look bad in every aspect, including
so
his batting.
you can actually say right now he is not just the MVP.
He's a Triple Crown winner.
Well, he's probably the best baseball player
Oh yeah,
right
oh,
now.
definitely.
I mean, when you're watching him field his position, hitting obviously, and the pitching obviously, it's like he's
I
the
would say-
best player.
I would say besides Shohei, he's the best
you can
player.
make an argument with Ohtani, but all around doing everything correctly, it's hard
Yeah.
to beat deGrom right now.
And that line drive he caught the other night is just like
Incredible.
Oh yeah,
Gary Cohen has said more than once this year. Is there anything he can't do? And it's true. As you watch him play, it's.
yeah.
I mean, Gary Cohen is effusive over deGrom, but that's mainly because Gary Cohen, who is my age, has seen a lot of great baseball over the years, and he's now seeing the best baseball he's ever seen in his life by any individual. So that's what makes him even more over the top in his description of deGrom, because he's never seen anything like it in 50 years. So it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, you even have guys like Doc Gooden with probably the one of or the greatest pitching season of all time saying
Right.
he will put down whatever he's doing to watch deGrom pitch because he's that good.
Yep, absolutely. And that's why I paid for my subscription for MLB to see the Mets. It's just because of deGrom, honestly. And plus, it gives me something to do while the wife is knitting and quilting and things like that. No, she doesn't do any of that. Does a scrapbooking. Anyway,
Oh, I had
sorry,
something
off
else-
topic.
I had something I was gonna say, but
Your
I need
mother's
to
a
start-
quilter?
I need to start writing. I need to start writing things down when I'm thinking them and waiting. It's probably a good idea.
Good idea.
All right, Jack, you ready to tell us what's been bothering you this week?
Well,
Or
I tell you,
was
a
your
lot of
Rojas?
things bother me. A lot of
Okay,
things
yeah.
bother me. So I
Let's
won't
do
go
it.
into a long-winded topic, but
Give us one. Save the rest for another week.
okay. Well, I'm just going to say this. Lindor basically continues to struggle. He's still only hitting, 215 or whatever, and he still hasn't really broken out of any slump. He's had a couple of games for us. Yes, the other night he had all 5 RBIs. But as I watch him bat and watch him, anybody can hit mistake pitches, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's all. I never see Lindor, and keep an eye on this, boys, to confirm what I'm seeing. I never see him hit a good pitch. Every time I've seen him hit a home run, every time I've seen him hit the ball hard, typically it's a ball that the has been left out over the plate, a hanging slider, a hanging curveball, or maybe he's ahead of the pitcher 3-1 and he has to come in with a fastball. I have not seen this guy hit effectively against any good pitching. So that disturbs me because that means he's going to hit 225 maybe for the year,
Calling him
unless he
out.
starts showing us something else. I'm sorry. So Lindor obviously has been a disappointment from a numbers perspective, but the fact I haven't really seen him hit anything other than bad pitching really is a concern for me. So that's all I'm going to say about him right now. I have a lot of other things on my mind, but we'll save that for another day.
I mean, we can talk about his attempts at gaining the heart of the New York fans right now if you want to. I know that's
Well, you
I know
know,
that's an issue.
as I said to my brother the other night, as Lindor, maybe it was to you, Zach. I don't know. It was, it was a quick conference with
On
the
the
pitching
mound.
coach on the mound, and
Mhm.
Lindor insists on being a part of every conference
Yeah, what it
on
was
the
was
mound.
McCann. It was just the catcher. It was McCann
See,
coming
that's
out.
even worse. When McCann comes out, Lindor should
Yeah.
not even come over. So, as I said to you, Zach, if he's hitting 350, then I don't care if he wants to come over and be part of that conversation. But when you're hitting 212, just go stand over there, your shortstop, and quietly wait for that little conference to end before you have. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, early in the year, I watched that McNeil episode
Uh-huh.
when they were on this shift. McNeil kind of got in the way. Lindor fielded the ball. You guys remember that one?
Yeah.
Lindor threw the first late, and batter was safe. And after the inning, McNeil just made a beeline. And I watched that before they went to commercial. And I said to myself, that guy is pissed off royally at Lindor for some reason. I don't know what kind of words were said about when McNeil, made an incorrect move on that ball that was hit up the middle against the shift. But I could see Jeff McNeil looks really miserable this year. Now, granted, he's not hitting, and that could be part of it.
Mhm.
But he looks really miserable playing alongside this guy. And I think part of it could be because he's got a close-up look at how, as you were just saying, Zach, how Lindor seems to be playing to the affections of the crowd and trying to be everybody's best friend and everybody's best teammate. And you just don't walk into a situation cold and expect that you're going to do that, especially when you're not hitting. So
Yeah, he's not balling out. He's not doing
I
his
really
thing.
think Jeff McNeil, who we all love Jeff McNeil because he's a throwback.
I mean, you love Jeff
I
McNeil.
love Jeff
So
McNeil
like,
because
I
he's a
love him because he
throwback.
wears
That's
number
right.
6. That's my favorite.
So I think that's something to keep an eye on. I think their relationship is a little tenuous because I don't think McNeil goes for his shit. And I think, unfortunately, it's affecting McNeil's play. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
But anyway,
Lindor.
what do you think about Lindor's?
I mean, he's new school. He is like the poster child of new school baseball. He's got the chains on. He's got the smile. He's got the charisma. He
Mhm.
talks to the opposing team.
Oh
He
yeah.
goes to the mound, like you said. He wants to be. He just wants to talk. He really loves to talk. That guy. He just
Yeah.
wants to have a good time, and that's kind of what new school baseball is about. It's about having fun.
Right.
Old school baseball is more a little bit about winning.
Well,
Getting your stats up, working on yourself, and all this. And like, you're right. If he was hitting 300, it would seem like that's not what's in the way. He's not.
mhm.
He's not lost focus, but I can see how it looks from the outside, where it's like this guy is just he's just talking, he's just having fun, and he's not taking it
Mm.
seriously. He looks like he's not taking it seriously, but I think he really does want like this is my personal opinion. I think he wants to be a star in New York. I think he wants to make the New York fans love him, and
Right.
obviously he knows he needs to play well to do that. It's just, I mean, his numbers. I'm looking at his old numbers.
hmm
He
Oh,
batted
fantastic.
300 for his first 2 years. He was like 270, 280 the next three, and then 258 last year, and now he's down to 212 this year. So, I mean, last year was his worst year until this year. So I don't really know if if pitchers are just like figuring him out or what, but
Well, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. If you look at his numbers last year, and it's hard to put too much stock in last year because
right.
of COVID, but he did play in 60 games, which led the league. He did have 266 plate appearances, which led the league, but all his numbers across the board, everything was down. Batting average, OPS, power numbers,
hmm
home runs, everything was down. So again, 2020, who knows? But is there something else going on there? I don't know. Like you said, he might be figured out. But I mean, you can't even begin to say anything bad about the previous 5 years that he had. The
And
numbers are off the charts. Awesome for a shortstop in particular.
and he's not making the All-Star game this year, is he?
No.
No,
This will be the first year since his rookie year he's not making the All-Star game.
That's correct.
I'll need a big resurgence. So yeah, I don't think he's making it.
Yeah.
But as we're just destroying Francisco Lindor, I did just watch him hit a 2-run home run. So that's
Oh,
good.
just now?
Just now. But yeah, what you're
It must
saying.
have been a hanging slider.
Yeah.
Wait, was it? Was it? Can we get confirmation on that? Can
I
you
think
rewind?
it was
Can you
it was a
rewind it?
decent pitch, but I'll rewind it. I'll try to see. Maybe
Okay.
I could see if Keith will tell me if it was a good
Let me
pitch or
get the
not.
game on. Oh, it's the Braves. Never mind.
But overall, his stats are down the last 3 years. Hopefully, that will not continue. But yeah, it is a little concerning for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I like Francisco Lindor. I want to
No,
say
I
that
love
at
I
the
love a
end.
good hitting
At the end of
shortstop.
this, I want to say I like Francisco Lindor. I like his happy-go-lucky attitude. It sucks that that McNeil doesn't like that because obviously, like you said, it might be affecting the team. But
Yeah, I mean that's McNeil's problem too. He just has to
Right.
deal with the fact Lindor is that kind of a guy.
Yeah, and it is a tough one for McNeil too, because he is that kind of guy who, if he's not on, he's pissed all the time. He
Yeah.
grounds out, he slams his helmet, he throws his
That's
stuff
true.
down, which is fine with me. I have no problem with that, but that's just how he is. If he's not going well, he's just mad.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So it's tough.
That is the caveat to his attitude is that he is not playing well. By the way, the home run was hit off Kyle Wright, whose lifetime MLB stats are 2-7 with a 6.26 ERA. So
he's not a good pitcher, huh?
well, the jury's still out on Francisco Lindor's ability.
But was it a good? Or was it a good pitch?
I don't know. It was at 88 miles an hour, which makes me think it's a slider. It was middle of the zone, so it might have been a hanger.
Middle of the zone. Oh boy.
Tough to say.
So you're telling me
pitchers out there where he could hit 30 home runs against 30 bad pitchers. So I'm not complaining.
That's true. As long as he's not missing the bad pitches, I guess that's what's keeping his 212 average alive.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But that's pretty awesome. If as you said, he only hits home runs off of hanging pitches, he hit a home run off of a hanging pitch. That'd be pretty spectacular.
But I'm with you guys. I mean, I have high hopes for the guy, and there's an adjustment to a new contract. There's an adjustment to New York.
Yeah.
So the jury's still out. So
and I mean, the fact that he's had this kind of attitude since his starting days at Cleveland makes me think it is sincere. Like it is. It's a lot. And obviously, people in New York and New York fans are very like, what the is this?
Right.
So I think like in Cleveland, I didn't think it was fake in any way. Like I didn't think anything of it.
I think that is
his
just
charming attitude.
Yeah. Right.
But I think it's just because it's a new team and he's still trying to keep that. Like he seems to be right into it. Like these guys seem kind of like, why is this guy here? Like. This is my new teammate. I don't even know like who this is really, and that's what makes it kind of seem weird. But I think that is just really who he is, and I think that's good. Essentially, for a team, it'll take a while for that to like the chemistry to get there.
Yep.
All right, Andrew, what's bothering you?
All right. So what's bothering me is I don't know how much you guys have been seeing this, but they're doing the whole foreign substance testing on all the pitchers, either as they come in the game, as they leave the game, or they make them they check their hat, check under their belt, and it's every pitcher, which I don't really have a problem with. It happens right when the inning's over. We're only seeing it because it's new, but normally you're not going to see that. It's going to happen during the commercial break. So I don't like umpires in general. I think a lot of the MLB umpires are horrible at their job, and we'll get into that later. But I think this is one thing that they're doing right according to what the MLB wants. Like, that is the new rule, is every pitcher has to get checked, starting pitchers more than relief pitchers at some point. But yesterday I saw a lot of angry pitchers that they were getting tested and angry at the umpires, and I don't understand why. So I have this one quick video. I just sent it in the chat. It's Sergio Romo, relief pitcher for the A's. And yeah, he's taking his pants off, and he just looks like he's pissed at the umpire. But that's the rule. Like, that is what they have to do. And I don't understand why he is so angry. I guess maybe he's just showing up the MLB and wants to send a message to the commissioner or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I don't understand it. Like, that is the new rule. It's for now the new normal because pitchers were cheating. So I don't really get why he's so mad and why all these pitchers are so mad.
It looks like the ump takes it well. I feel like umps have to take this kind of stuff well, like that.
So they have to, yeah.
They get this shit all the time. That is a bit much. I saw Max Scherzer get into it with the with who's the manager of the Phillies? The ex-Yankee. Yeah. Joe Girardi asked them to check him again, and he just flipped his lid. They were like, did you see the video of them like combing through his hair?
Yep.
They're like, check his hair because he touched his hair, and apparently Joe Girardi's like, I've never seen Max Scherzer touch his hair before like that. Check his hair.
Apparently, I didn't know. So I don't want to cut you off, but I didn't know
that's fine.
That. So the main foreign substance that these pitchers are using to get extra spin rate on their fastball is the spider tack, which is this gluey substance. It gives them more grip. But another less bad version of that, I guess you could say, it was sunscreen. It's sunscreen and rosin. So they have the rosin bag and then sunscreen. So apparently a lot of pitchers were putting the sunscreen in their hair. So if they go to touch their head, they touch the rosin bag, they get this little gluey substitute, and that's what they use. So I guess that's why he said it, or why Joe Girardi said it. And originally I was totally against that, stopping him in the middle of the inning and check it. But the more I'm thinking about it, the more I hear about it, it's the umpires don't have to check him. They could have just said, no, we're not doing it. But they thought that it was a reasonable choice, I guess. So they went and checked him.
Interesting. I think that hair gel would be good in general.
Like, I could see
if
it.
you just put hair gel in your hair and touched your head, I feel like that would be pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I use product, and when I put my hands through my hair, I get like my hands get a little bit sticky. Like if a guy wears hair gel, is that illegal? Like, can you not wear hair gel and touch your hair anymore?
That's a great question.
Because like, what was that?
No, I was going to say, well, Sergio Ramos, it's a couple of things about him that you guys probably didn't know. First of all, he is 38 years old and still hanging around, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's doing something. But I got an inside scoop from Billy Bean. Sergio Ramos is very well endowed, and I think that's the rumor why he dropped his pants, because he wanted to show the world what he had.
He wanted to show the ump his dick.
That's fair.
No, it's not what I said. Well, it is kind of what I said, but yeah, no, that's the rumor on Ramos, is that he's got a package there, and he saw an opportunity to let the world see it. It's just FYI.
Fair enough.
Oh,
yep.
Good for him.
So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do it, but
yeah, of course. Yeah, me neither. So do you know what spider tack is actually used for? Because I just looked this up.
I don't know.
Spider tack is I believe this. I'm not sure if this is absolutely true. I'm getting this off of an Amazon review, but it says it's good for Atlas stones. So you pick up, in the strongest man in the world competitions, when you pick up the Atlas stone, the big rocks that
Yep.
weigh like
Yeah.
a ton, it's for those guys so they can hold a gigantic
Oh,
half-ton stone.
Seems
you
like a
put that
very
shit.
niche market.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. And you know what the top question is on Amazon.com?
I'm ready.
Oh,
Is this
does it
what
have to do
Cole
with
said?
Sergio
Is
Ramos?
this what Cole said he doesn't use, but actually uses? And the answer, somebody answered this and said yes, no. Cole definitely does or doesn't use spider tack. I mean, what was the question again? so, so, the spider tack on Amazon has some good jokes in it. If you guys want to have a laugh.
Well, you guys have seen what Alonso is theorizing.
Oh, I
You've
haven't
got
actually.
some. Well,
I've got this video
You've
saved, but
got
I
some
haven't looked at it yet.
huge positional players, especially shortstops, coming into their free agent season within the next year or two.
Hmm.
And MLB is now owns Rawlings. They own the manufacturer of the baseball. So the theory is that the reason you're not seeing more home runs, and this is outside of spin rate right now, but is that they've made the ball it's not wound as tight. They've made it restricted flight so that these batters coming into their free agent season are not coming in with powerhouse years, which leads to huge contract numbers. So that's the Alonso theory, which I would not discount that to say they're deadening the baseball because of the huge crop of free agents coming in, positional players, free agents for the next couple of years. Guys like Corey Seager and all there's other shortstops involved and other positional players that are coming into their big seasons and they're trying to deaden the ball as a result. So take that for what you will,
Wow.
but that's an interesting theory, and I wouldn't put it past them to do that, certainly.
I love
Because
hearing theories because I immediately believe them usually.
oh,
I'm
okay,
ve-
well,
I'm
here's one for you. I got
well,
one.
I'm just
No,
I'm very accepting of those kind of ideas, especially when they make sense like that. That's a very interesting one because what you're saying essentially is they don't want to pay these guys big contracts because they lose money.
Yeah,
That's what you're
so
saying?
it's basically he was saying that the owners are basically colluding with the MLB to
Oh,
stifle offense this year because
oh
you
my
you have
gosh.
you got Seager and Story and all these huge
yeah,
shortstops going to the
Peter
free agent market. So if their offense is down, we don't have to pay him as much.
Peter ate 5 edibles and ripped a huge bong and came up with this conspiracy.
And it's great too because the guy asking the question kind of reiterates it. He's like, "Oh, so you think this is happening?" And he just goes, "I don't. I know it. I know it's happening. It's 100%
well,
happening."
and there's no doubt this season I'm watching more baseball than normal, and I'm not seeing balls fly out the
Yeah.
way they've been doing the last 4 years. There's no question the
Oh,
balls are not
absolutely.
flying out the way they were.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
and that is something that could be like another reason they could be deadening the ball is because people want to see that contact hitting again, and if you can't hit it out, you got to hit it in play.
so
And
that's yeah. And so
that
now all
that
the bat.
that's something that's gonna take years if that's what they're planning on doing.
Right, exactly. They say that, and then all we're getting is strikeouts. We're not getting
Yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah,
Right.
it's gonna take a long time for the players to adjust
Right.
after going through, so much of their lives thinking I got to swing for the fences every time.
Right.
So
They
it seems
they
like
got
that
away
is
from the
less
uppercut.
right. That's less believable than what Pete is suggesting. So, I mean, I think that's a pretty good conspiracy.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I don't discount it. What's next on the
All right, next we got
quizzing?
a day. Wait, yeah, we got quizzing. Yep. All right, so this is my time to shine. Here we go.
Well, all you do is ask a question. How do you shine?
I'm shining. I'm gonna basically be the Pat Sajak of this show right now.
He doesn't ask questions. Oh, he does ask questions. He says,
My
"What letter do
gosh.
you want?" All right, go ahead, Alex
Would you
Trebek.
pipe down over there?
All right.
All right. I'm going
Go
to
ahead.
first ask you both a modern baseball question. You will text me. You both have my number, correct?
Yes.
Shit. All right.
Text me the answer to this modern baseball question.
Are we allowed to look it up?
If you don't know, just guess.
Okay.
All
Well,
right?
I'm not
Do
going to
not
look
look it up. If you look it up,
I will not
that
look it up.
defeats the purpose. Obviously, you cannot look it
I
up.
agree. I'm not going to look it up.
I think you shouldn't look it up. All right, here we
Just
go.
answer the damn
I'm gonna
question.
give you 30 seconds. If it's not here in 30 seconds, you're disqualified.
I
Okay.
need 10. Yep. I'm ready.
All right. Who was the 2019 World Series MVP?
Can you tell me who was in the 2019
I'll
World
give you.
Series?
I'll give you a minute. No, I will not tell you that.
Oh.
I'll give you a minute though.
Okay.
Text me the answer before a minute.
Okay.
You're
Oh.
gonna hear my alarm go off, and that will be the signal for.
All right, I guessed. I don't even have the team right. It's not that funny. Well, I'm so year off.
They didn't
Right?
even win that year.
You don't have to win to be the MVP.
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing at you because
2019, I don't even know who's playing.
you're a punk. All right, here we go. Andrew, who was playing that year?
It was the Astros and the Nationals, I believe.
That is correct. Jack
Oh, the cheaters.
said Mookie Betts of the Dodgers, and
Or the
Andrew
Red Sox.
says
He was
or the Red Sox. Yeah, he was a Red
Yeah.
Sox back then. And the other one was Howie Kendrick. Both incorrect. The answer. Anybody have a final guess? It was the Nationals. It was the
Strasburg.
Nationals. That's correct. Steven Strasburg
Damn.
was the MVP of the 2019 World Series. I thought it was the third baseman. Who was the third baseman?
Zimmerman?
Rendon.
Yeah, I thought it was Rendon.
Trey Rendon.
I think he was great in the playoffs. I guess he didn't do much in the World Series.
How he popped off. I don't know how he didn't win MVP.
I think he got robbed, Andrew. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so Andrew, you know how this works.
Yeah.
Since you're a modern baseball lover and you got it wrong, you get -1. Baseball lover, you get 0 for getting it wrong. So you're winning 0 to -1. Congratulations.
Oh,
We're gonna move on to the old World Series or the old school baseball question. 1975 World Series MVP. Good luck, Andrew. Think of players that you know of that are old. That's all you can do.
Well, I could tell you, that's a lot I could tell you about the 75.
Well,
World
if you
Series.
want to give Andrew a little bit of a hint, at least go ahead and tell us.
Okay. Well, the most memorable base hit of the 75 World Series was Carlton Fisk's home run in extra innings in Game 6 when he motioned the ball fair. What most people forget is that Bernie Carbo hit a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 8th to tie that game at 6-6 to go to extra innings. Game 7 was at Fenway and it was won by the Reds 4-3. I'm gonna have to say, because I think Joe Morgan drove in the winning run.
Oh, that's what I
I'm
was
gonna
actually
say Joe
typing.
Morgan. Which
So you're
may or may
saying
not be
Joe
right.
Morgan?
Let's say Joe Morgan. Only
I was in the
'cause
middle
it
of
was on the
typing
Reds.
Joe
So you're
Morgan.
saying Joe Morgan. Andrew already said Joe Morgan. You're both wrong.
Okay, well, that's fair then.
It
Pete
is
Rose, then.
Pete Rose.
It's one or the other.
So you guys are tied -1 to -1. I'm stumping you guys so far. This is good. All right. Modern baseball question number 2. Most home runs in the 2018 season.
Oof.
I don't know.
This is a funny question. This is a funny one.
Funny.
That's all I'm going to tell you. This is a funny question.
Oh, I might know it actually. 2018. All right, locking it in.
Chris Davis, Baltimore Orioles.
All right, I'm gonna go with Chris
Oh.
Davis, Oakland Athletics.
Oh shit!
All right, Chris Davis, Baltimore Orioles. That's your final answer.
No, Chris
You
Davis.
got- no.
Oakland A's.
Too late. You already fucked it up. You said Chris
Yeah.
with a C, and you also said Baltimore Orioles. So that leads me to believe that
Well, who
You
was
did in
it?
fact mean Chris Davis with a C. It was Chris Davis with a K. We actually talked about this player today.
Yeah,
That's why it's
48.
funny. We
He
talked
had
about his
48.
48 home runs in 2018. That led the league.
Thank God
And
you said this is funny. I would not have gotten it.
yeah, when that came up, I was like, I can't believe they're talking about fucking Chris Davis right now. I've never even heard of this guy. But here we are.
He also, I think he hit 247 that year.
247 that year. You know, that's a good guess because he batted 247 three of his years. So I'm gonna have to say probably.
In
All right,
those
we're
4
moving
years,
on.
he had 247. He averaged 160 strikeouts a year. But, big deal.
Big deal. He hit 48 home runs.
Yeah. All right. All right. What do you got next?
Most home runs in the 1968 season.
Well, which league?
Both leagues, man. Both leagues, just like Chris Davis.
You pick 68. That helps because Carl Yastrzemski won the Triple Crown in 1968.
hmm
Did he? No, he
No,
won in 67.
he won the home run crown in '67. He tied with somebody in
He
'67.
tied with Harmon Killebrew with 44, 126 RBIs. He batted 326, won a Triple Crown. And
Was
Frank
it
Robinson
actually
won a Triple
Killebrew?
Crown. I believe it was Killebrew who also had
No,
44.
he tied in '67. Killebrew did not win
Right.
in '68.
68 home runs.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have
68. Who led the league in home runs? Dad, could you text it to me and not say it out
ah,
loud and not
okay.
ruin the whole thing?
Well, Carl Yastrzemski led the American League in batting that year, batting only 301 in 1968.
We can talk about this after you and Andrew submit your
All right.
answers.
All
I'm
right.
sorry. I don't want anybody to have any helpful stuff, you know?
All right. I took a stab.
All right, Andrew, what do you got? What are you whipping out here? Oh, Andrew with Willie Horton.
That's a pretty good guess, but wrong.
Dad with Killebrew
Yeah, I'll go Killebrew.
or Yastrzemski.
Yeah, I gave you two.
But you're going Killebrew?
I'm going Killebrew.
You're going Killebrew, not Yastrzemski.
Yes, I'm going Killebrew.
Oh,
Are you
boy.
sure?
Oh my gosh.
Because it's Frank Howard.
Oh,
Oh.
48.
Frank Howard.
He did
Frank
48?
the Tank Howard. He hit 59.
He did not.
I don't know, man. I didn't write that down. All right.
Washington Senators. Okay, here's another
He
trivia
was on the
question
Washington
that.
Senators.
That's right.
Yeah, what's another trivia question, Dad? Ask me something from 1968. I'll know it.
Who was his manager that year?
Oh, that was
You're gonna get it wrong.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
You're gonna get it wrong.
Dick Van Dyke.
Let me ask you an easier question. Who was his manager the next season in 1969?
Who is that old dude who?
Some people call him the greatest hitter ever.
Oh my gosh, Ty Cobb?
No.
Eddie Baseball?
Yeah,
Ted
Teddy Williams.
Yeah.
Ted Williams manages Senators in 69. Now in 68, they finished ninth. I'm sorry, they finished in last in 1968, but in 1969, they finished fourth with Ted Williams at 86 and 76. So Ted had a huge impact on that team's ability to win.
And then he got cryogenically frozen. Do you guys know about his body being cryogenically frozen?
Yes, of course. I think there was a Simpsons episode about that.
There's a Simpson episode about everything, I guess, isn't there?
That's true.
That's how I learned about history. All right. You guys ready for the next modern question?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, yes. I know. all these.
2018 ALCS runner-up.
2018,
18. Oh, boy.
2018 ALCS runner-up.
they lost, in other words.
Yes, the loser of the ALCS.
That's easy. Come on. My least favorite team.
Yep.
You guys locking that in?
Locking it in.
Are you guys sure?
I think so. Yes, Yankees.
I'm like typing it in to check if my answer is right now. All right, you guys are wrong.
I
guys
think
are both
I think
wrong.
we're
You
a
guys-
year off.
You guys both went Yankees. That was 2019.
Is it Astros?
It is the Astros
Yeah, 'cause
losing
the
to
Red
the Red Sox.
won. Yep. I'm a year
Yep.
off.
Yeah, the Red Sox. If the Red Sox win against the Yankees in 2018, it's a lot bigger of a story, isn't it?
That's true.
All right. Sorry, guys. -2 to -1 right now. Honestly, I should probably make it +2 if one of you guys gets the opposite year correct, because I'm noticing it's pretty hard for you guys to get the, especially Andrew, because who's Frank Howard? Do you know who Frank Howard is, Andrew?
Nope.
I don't either. So
He used to manage the Mets, for goodness sakes.
what
What
year?
year?
It's 77, I think.
Andrew, how do you not know that? Are you kidding me? You know the 77
You guys
manager?
are Met fans. Come on.
I got a bone up.
I couldn't even remember the guy who managed the Cubs when I was growing up just now. Who's the old guy who
Well,
used
you
to
know what? Maybe
kick
this.
dirt
Maybe
on
this.
people?
No, the contest should be who gets more right in their own category.
No, it's an addition of both of those. It's if you get it right, you get 0. If you get it wrong, you get -1. So it's basically 1 point if you get it right.
What's the next
I like
question?
this. I'm okay with this being negative.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too. What's the next question?
Lou Piniella.
Yeah.
That's who I was thinking of. All right. Who? All right. See, you're gonna notice that these questions are mirrored. I'm just changing the year. So, give me the 1979 ALCS runner-up. Now, Andrew, you got a 1 in however many teams there were in 1979 chance.
This better
get
not be
this
a
one
team
right.
that doesn't exist anymore.
It's a team that exists. I'll give you guys that.
ALCS runner-up, 79.
Yeah.
Shit, now I'm
Andrew with a
struggling.
quick answer. He's like, I'm guessing. I'm just going for it.
Why do
I
you have
think-
to, why are you asking ALCS? This is a National League team broadcast.
My gosh. That's exactly why. You guys know too much about the National
Okay,
League.
hold
I'm
on.
trying to
Yankees.
stump you. You think I want you to get this right? You think I want you to get this?
ALCS runner-up. All right, here's the answer. There you go. Oh, that ain't right. Hold on. 59.
You said that's not right. Hold up. You want me to wait?
No, go ahead. That's my answer. Oakland. I think Oakland finished last that year. But anyway, go ahead.
And they're definitely not the ALCS runners up. Andrew answers the Tigers. Father answers the Oakland Athletics. It was, in fact, the Cali Angels.
Oh.
I didn't know they were alive in the 1979s, but they were. Oh, Dad coming in with another answer. He says Angels. Correct.
Yes.
But you were a minute late, so I'm going to have to deduct 3 more points from
Joe
you.
Rudy, Bobby Gritt.
Dad, you're
Rod
disappointing me today. You know what you scored today?
I don't know. It's more than yesterday.
You know what you... No, it's actually... You scored 0 yesterday. You got -3 today. Andrew, you only got -2.
I'll take it.
So you win. You actually won today. Congratulations.
For the only time ever.
I think you may be the greatest quiz champion of all time. Yeah, I think you might know more than anybody that I know for sure about baseball.
The way you keep score sucks. I was right. Joe Rudy, Bobby Bergkamp, Bobby Grich, Rod.
Well, you were wrong on all 3 old school questions. So I guess I should make it a little easier on both of you guys, huh?
No, go ahead. No, you got to go back even further. Go back like to the 30s and 20s.
You want me to ask you the 30s ML? There was no World Series MVP back then. I couldn't ask you that question.
Mhm.
Would you know the ALCS run? There was no ALCS in the 30s, was there?
Yeah, so I'll get all those right.
There was none. Final answer. There was none.
Okay, that reminds me of one of my favorite trivia questions.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear it.
Although I already gave you the answer. Why didn't the Tigers retire Ty Cobb's number? Tigers, 22 seasons with the Tigers, greatest batting average, highest batting average ever.
because
Why didn't
Didn't
he
have one.
stabbed that guy, or he didn't have one.
he did not wear a number? No, there were no
Yes.
numbers on the Tigers during his career.
That was a good one, Andrew.
Thank you.
I hopped on the back of that one after I heard how solid that logic was. But my first answer was also probably pretty true.
Now they did
That's-
retire his name.
That's why-
Nobody who plays for the Tigers can ever be named Cobb.
Well,
Just FYI.
nobody can have the name Cobb on there. Well, I think nobody can wear no number because he stabbed somebody.
If
You
if
have
the
to wear a
na-
number because he stabbed somebody.
if his name is Cobb, they have to wear not Cobb on their back. So there you
They have
have it.
to wear Cobb Jr. even if they're not a junior.
Yeah, Cobb the second.
We're gonna squip the question vault today, and we're gonna move on to diamonds in the rough. We're gonna talk about players throughout history, guys with interesting stats, nicknames, stories. Andrew, you got a guy for us.
All right, I got a guy. I think this is a guy that most people haven't heard of. He's a modern player, currently active. And the more I'm reading about him, and I've been watching him a little bit, he's honestly become one of my favorite players in the MLB. And I love his name is Austin Adams, a relief pitcher for the Padres. If you've watched the two Mets series against the Padres, you probably saw him pitch a few times. But basically, the scouting report on Austin Adams is he throws sliders, he strikes guys out, and he hits batters with his pitches. And I love it. He throws this slider 89.4% of the time, which is the highest of any pitcher just throwing one pitch that isn't a fastball. So he's up there, he's just chucking sliders nonstop, and it's a pretty good slider. But he's got 13.6 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's 14th among all relievers. So even though he's only throwing one pitch, he's striking out everybody. But my favorite thing is he hits so many batters. He's only pitched 25 innings this year, and he's hit 12 guys. The next closest is Jake Woodford. He's hit 7 in 23 innings.
Is it because it's wild or because they hang in there against that slider too long and it doesn't slide?
So I think he's a little wild. I see a lot of guys when I watch him where he almost hits them and they kind of back out. So I think it's just when his slider doesn't break, it's probably going to hit you. But he's so interesting to me because he just throws one pitch. Like his slider is really good, but that's all it is. Like, a slider is coming. Maybe you'll get the fastball every once in a while, but he's got a 2.1 ERA. He's one of only 2 pitchers this year who have not allowed a barrel, which is, when a guy fully makes solid contact, it's exit velocity of 98 miles per hour or higher. There's only 2 guys this year. The only other guy is Tyler Rogers, who I don't know if you've seen him throw for the Giants, but he might as well be throwing with his foot. He throws like from the dirt. But I just love watching this guy. It's so interesting. Like he's just throwing sliders and guys can't hit it.
Huh. So he's a righty.
He's a righty.
Does he pitch
motion
against everybody? Like they don't bring him in for.
No, yeah, he'll just come in. He's like
specific,
their
righties?
7th or 8th inning guy, and guys just look lost when they're up there. I don't really understand.
Does he like to start? I don't know if you know this. Does he like to start in the zone and move out of it, or does he like to start out of the zone and move into it? Like, is it a lot of looking or a lot of swinging?
A lot of swinging. He gets a lot of really ugly swings.
Okay, so it's a lot of starting in and then moving out hard. So he's just got the dirtiest slider in the league, basically, and he's like, "I'm just gonna pitch it over and over again."
Well, that's the thing. I've been wondering if it's either the guy is up and he's like, "All right, this is finally the fastball. I'm gonna crush this," and then they go after it and it's another slider.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're worried about getting hit, so they're kind of like staying back on the ball. But I don't really think that's it. Like guys get hit a lot now. I don't know. It's just so interesting. But I've seen some of the weakest swings, and these guys look so fooled. But they know what pitch is coming. And if it seems like a fastball, just don't swing.
He's been in the league since 2017. So it's not like there's not a lot of information out there about him. I wonder.
So the interesting thing is I think he just started basically only throwing a slider. I was looking at his pitch, I guess, repertoire, whatever you want to call it, throughout his career. and he's been even 2020. Well, it was 83% slider, which is pretty high, but then 2019 only 62% slider. 2018 41%. 2017 47%. So someone with the Padres, as soon as he left the Padres, he started throwing his slider all the time. So someone must have just seen it and said that's a really good pitch and that's all you should throw. But it's just really interesting. You don't see too many pitchers now have one really good pitch and that's all they throw. But it's I don't know, it's working for him.
And I guess since he has those 5 years before he came to the Padres, he's got 6 years. No, 5 years, and then one with the Padres before this year. So I guess they're not saying he's throwing a slider every time yet. They're just like, look out for that fastball to come in after, and he's just not throwing it to him.
Like he'll throw it maybe once,
Yeah.
once, maybe twice an inning. I don't know. It's just so interesting. So I've been trying to watch him pitch as much as possible. Yeah, you don't see too many pitchers like that, and I just love watching it.
It's interesting. Have you seen his hit by pitch numbers before this year?
Yeah, and they weren't high.
He's got 3 in the last 6 years, and then he has 12 this year.
They can't hit it, so they're leaning into it.
Well, I don't even think it's that. Well, that. So I thought that too, but I've been watching, and it's just he'll throw probably 5 pitches per appearance that could be a hit by pitch if the batter didn't move.
So hit by pitch numbers are up in general, right?
They are up in general, but his aren't like anyone else's. Like I said, the next guy who's hit the most is Charlie Morton with 11, but that's through 80 innings, and he's thrown 25.
Yeah, this guy's got 12.
But it is also really funny too. I see a lot of batters almost get hit by him, and they kind of look at him weird, like they're mad that it looks like he's trying to hit him. But did they not read the scouting report? Like he's hitting everybody, but they just still get so mad.
Yeah, I think just when you get hit by something moving that fast, your first reaction is like, "Ow, you asshole!
Yeah.
That fucking hurt." I remember when I got hit by a pitch, I wasn't happy about it. So.
Well, you were only 6 years old, so.
Yeah, I cried.
You cried.
Yeah, I was a bitch about it.
No ice cream for you.
No, I didn't deserve it. I don't think I got a single hit when I played baseball. I think I was more of a daisy picker in the outfield.
Nice.
All right. We're going to test your knowledge, Jack. It's time to move on. Andrew, do you want to pick the year or the stat?
You do both. You know his area of expertise. I just want.
I don't have any areas of expertise.
All right. You wanted me to go old, right? You wanted me to go way back to the 30s.
You want.
We'll go 30. I don't care. We'll go 1932.
Cubs. Yankees.
We'll go 1932 World Series loser.
The Yankees beat the Cubs. And what is the most famous moment in the 1932 World Series that people still talk about?
Yeah, tell us about it.
You don't know it? I guess you got negative too.
It was when Bobby Wrigley sat on a piece of gum and it ripped his pants when he stood up for the
32 World Series was the called shot from Babe Ruth.
What?
When he pointed to center field and said, "I'm going to hit a home run," which is debated still to this day. But
really?
He did hit a home run, the called shot. And there is, if you could actually find a film clip of this, and you'll see him rounding third and giving the Cub dugout a load of shit as he rounds third going into home.
Did he say, "I told you so"? Is that what he was saying, or do you think he was talking about their mothers?
Yeah, talking about their mothers probably or something. Yeah. So yeah, that was 32.
I didn't know that was against the Cubs. I'll never do that with a wiffle ball bat ever again.
Yeah.
All right. What about 1969?
Wait a minute. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I'm going to go until you get one wrong.
Oh, all right. Go ahead.
1969 will go RBI leader in the NL.
Well, in 1969, of course, was the Mets World Series victory. Cleon Jones batted .340 that year, finishing third in the league behind Pete Rose at 348 and Roberto Clemente at 345. You want to know who?
Yeah, baby.
Who do you want to know?
Who was the RBI leader in the NL in 1969? He nearly missed out on a triple crown. Or he did miss out on the triple crown very narrowly, I should say.
Willie McCovey.
That's right.
Yeah, Willie McCovey had led the league in home runs and RBIs.
And what else?
That
Comes with home runs and RBIs, slugging percentage.
Slugging percentage, probably total bases too, perhaps.
Yep, but not.
No, batting he wasn't. No, not in batting average. He wasn't even close to Rose's 348.
All right, you're 2 for 2. You've done your job tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good night.
Well done. That's plus 2.
I'm going to bed.
All right, 9:41, 8:41 is your time to go to bed. All right, let's move to this day in history.
All right, ready? I got some. Normally I feel like we should only do one, but I got 2 really good ones. So first one, June 23rd, today, 1917. Babe Ruth is on the mound, starting for the Boston Red Sox against the Washington Senators.
Oh, I could tell you already what happened.
Yeah, Jack knows this
He
one.
calls somebody else's shot, and they hit it.
All right, you ready? Ruth walks the first batter. He walks the first batter. He proceeds to get into a physical.
Ernie Shore comes on in relief. The batter gets thrown out of second, stealing second, and Ernie Shore pitches the rest of the game. Perfect game, although it wasn't technically a perfect game.
Yeah, he throws 8 2/3 perfect innings, first ever combined no-hitter. I think Jack was at the game, actually.
Yes, it was.
Wait. Combined no-hitter, and this guy threw a perfect game in 8 2/3.
So Ruth walks the first batter, gets thrown out of the game. Shore comes in.
Did they say what he did to get thrown out?
Complained to the umpire about the ball 4 call.
Yeah,
That's
he was
hilarious.
arguing balls and strikes, got in a physical fight, got thrown out.
Physical fight with the ump.
Ernie Shore comes in, gets the guy on first is stealing, gets thrown out. Then he retires 26 in a row, perfect innings. So it's technically a combined no-hitter because Ruth started the game.
Wow, that's insanity.
Yep.
That is amazing. That guy deserves a perfect game.
Number 2 is a little more obscure. Jack might still know this one, but I would be very surprised if he did. So this is a AA Southern League game. It's in 2007.
The one that went like 32 innings?
Nope.
Okay.
AA Southern League game between the Mobile Bay Bears and the Montgomery Biscuits. So the Bay Bears closer, Matt Elliott, is on the mound in the 8th, trying to protect a 1-run lead, but he gives up a sac fly that ends up tying the game. He's able to get out of the inning without any further damage, but he's pissed that he couldn't hold on to the lead. So as he's going to the bathroom before coming in to pitch the 9th, he slams the door behind him in frustration. But the force from slamming the door ends up breaking the lock, and he's unable to open the door and get out. So now Mobile's closer is locked in the bathroom, and he can't come in to pitch the 9th. They had to call the fire department, and they finally get him out after being stuck in the bathroom for 47 minutes. And sadly, Mobile had to bring in a different pitcher for the 9th, gave up a home run in the 10th inning, and they lost the game.
Man, that's why I think Jeff McNeil's attitude is just sour and toxic. He cost your team the game by locking yourself in the bathroom in the 9th.
Well, it doesn't happen anymore. They've anti-locked the slamming of the
since 2007. Yeah, you're right. They've done a lot of technology in those AA parks.
Yeah, I think now and they have heated seats in the AA parks, heated toilet seats now. So
yeah, they have toilet seats that actually eject you back onto the field if you have
You can't wait to get in there.
Heated seats. All right. Let's go to the Joe West Award for this week. We got contestants.
We got some contestants. So, before I announce this, so my idea for this was we could give an award to the worst umpire of the week. There's this awesome Twitter account and website called Umpire Scorecards, and they grade every umpire based on just balls and strikes, how accurate they were that day, and how consistent they were. But I was curious to see your guys' opinion on the whole accuracy versus consistency with umpires. So accuracy is just, was it a ball? Was it a strike? Did he get the call right? Consistency is maybe this one pitch was low, but he's calling all the low ball strikes today. And I'm curious if you think I think it is always going to be better to be accurate, but is consistency good, or if you're consistently getting it wrong, is that still bad?
I think Keith Hernandez would say that consistently wrong is okay, because at least you know that he's calling certain pitches low ball strikes or high ball strikes, etc. So he tend to be forgiving of umpires who are consistent with their out of strike zone calls, which
Right.
I don't agree with that necessarily, but
I think that I agree with him when that being consistent in your wrong calls, like they kind of get to build their own strike zone up there as the ump. They get to call what they think you should be able to hit, as long as they're calling it evenly for both teams. I think that that's okay, but I think accuracy is more important, obviously. I don't know if accuracy accounts for like the box moving upwards and downwards for taller and shorter hitters.
I think it does, yes.
Okay, then I would say accuracy is definitely the one that we should base this award off of.
All right, so we'll go mainly accuracy. So basically, I guess I can just give you the numbers. I have one umpire who was 86.3% accurate, but he was 97.2% consistent, and I'm going to send you in the chat what that looks like, and you can see if you think that he is consistent enough to where it's okay, or if it's unforgivable because he just got a bunch of calls wrong. So right
is this
there, you
our
can
worst
see,
of the week if we're...
So basically, here are our two candidates for the worst of the week. I'll put them both up there. First one is Lance Barrett. This was on the 20th, Pirates versus Indians. He was 86.3% accurate, but 97.2% consistent. So he at least was calling pitches the same. He got 16 incorrect calls. Our second one is Doug Eddings.
16 out of 300 pitches or so, I guess.
Yes, 16 out of...
I mean, 100 feet. Normally you're talking 150 pitches per...
Yeah, this one's right around, I want to say, 120, 130 pitches for Lance Barrett.
Okay.
And then for Doug Eddings, it was Angels versus Giants on the 22nd. 88.6% accurate, so 2% more accurate, but only 86% consistency. And he got 17 calls wrong. So I think that is worse. I think that's more egregious.
I give it to Doug.
Inaccurate
Doug.
and inconsistent. So I think that's good. Our first Joe West award is going to go to Doug Eddings.
Dougie, what are you doing?
But then switching over to the other, I think it's also good to acknowledge the good umpires. I feel like the good umpires never actually get acknowledged because if no one notices them, they never get talked about. So I was looking at the stats for the best umpire this year so far is Trip Gibson. He's called a lot of great games. He's up in the top for accuracy and consistency. So I thought we could name the award after Trip Gibson. But the winner for this week was actually the umpire in the game yesterday in the Mets game, Pat Oberg, or maybe Hoberg. He was 98.7% accurate and 100% consistent. Wow. He only got two calls wrong. He got two calls wrong the entire night. And I will send that one in the chat as well.
Wow.
So you can
Congratulations to the family of Pat Hoberg.
The difference between a good umpire and a bad umpire. He got two calls wrong, and they are both, borderline.
Yeah.
Didn't have too much of an impact on the game. And that's a fantastic game.
I'm going to give him my Bill Clem award, and you guys can Google Bill Clem when you have a moment if you're curious about who Bill Clem is. So that's Klem.
And honestly, both of those are so close. I give them 100.
I give them 100 too.
Those are so close. What a game.
I mean, if Bill Clem was an outstanding umpire, I'm willing to name the award after him. He's in the Hall of Fame, right?
I'm sure he is. Old fish mouth, they call him.
All right. I'm renaming it. I'm renaming it to the Bill Clem Award.
All right.
Yeah.
So our first Bill Clem Award winner is Pat Hoberg. Congratulations.
Yay! Where are we?
Role
Yeah.
player draft. So basically, what we're doing here is we will have a draft that circulates from 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. What is that called?
Snake draft.
Yeah, whatever.
Snake draft. We're gonna do a snake draft. We're gonna pick a home run hitter, a base stealer, a serial walker, a batter who walks a lot, a strikeout batter, a batter who strikes out a lot, a strikeout pitcher, a pitcher who strikes out a lot of batters, a Johnny Walker, a pitcher who walks a lot of guys, and an Anti DeGrom, someone who allows a lot of earned runs, unlike our boy Jakub DeGrom. So how we're gonna decide the order for this draft is simple. I'm gonna have a random number generator. We're all gonna pick a number. Whoever's closest to it will go first. Second closest to it goes second. Oh no, you get to pick if you want to go third, second, or first. If you get closest, and then we'll do it like that. Okay.
I like it.
Just tell me what to do when it's my turn.
All right. I need you to pick a number between 1 and 100 right now. Don't say it out loud, please.
Okay.
All right.
How do you
so
know
what?
what I'm picking?
Shh. Shush.
Okay. All
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna write down my number first. Okay.
All right.
And now you two send me your numbers so nobody knows anybody's number. Oh wow, you guys really screwed me on that one.
Ah.
All right, so I'm 66, Andrew's 55, and Jack is 99. We all picked double numbers.
Oh boy.
Very interesting. All right,
So
I'm
I
gonna
won?
generate.
So I won?
So Andrew's got a great chance of winning. Me and Dad have about the same. Here we go. Number is 58. So Andrew's right there.
Score.
I'm second closest. Dad, you're second. What?
Oh, I had to be
Or
close.
sorry, you're third.
I would have picked 57 if not 99.
What do you think I was gonna do?
Just go ahead. Get it rolling. I'm ready.
All right,
I'm
Andrew,
ready.
do you want to go first or third?
Give me third.
All right, I'll go first. And Dad, you're going second.
Just don't ask me to do anything. Just tell me what to do.
I really haven't asked much of you, have I?
No.
Sorry. I won't ask you to pick a number between 1 and 100 again. That's my bad. All right. With the first pick of the draft, I'm taking the Junior Vlad as my home run hitter this week. I'm taking Vladdy Jr. number 1 overall because I want the Junior Vlad.
Good pick. I like it.
Oh, go ahead. Who's next?
You're next, and you can pick anybody you want in those 7 categories.
Oh. Any category?
Yeah, buddy.
Okay. For steals, I'm going to take Whit Merrifield.
That's a good pick. That's what I was
A
gonna
good
pick.
pick. I really should have done that, but I really wanted to say Junior Vlad, and it was the first name that was on my paper, so I didn't think too much about it. But great pick. I honestly, Dad, that's a great pick.
Thank you.
All right. So with my
I
first
think he
pick,
might win it.
my first pick, I'm going to take. Give me a sec. I'm going to take Javi Baez for my strikeout batter.
Good pick. Good pick. If you can count on anyone to strike out, it's Javi.
And for my second pick, I'm going to go for Max Muncy for my walker.
Oh my gosh.
See my serial walker, Max Monkey.
That's a great pick. I was gonna pick Max Monkey myself.
Well, he is
Just-
batting. His OBP is 419. I was going to do the same.
Yeah, I think he was high on everyone's list, even though he's not the number 1 walker in the league right now. It's interesting.
All right, back to you, Jack.
All right. Let me see who. Let me go. Let me go to Loogy. I'm going to take I'm going to go back to walks because I really like this guy this week. I'm going to take Mookie Betts as my walker this week. They're coming up against the Astros in the next series, and they got a lot of wild pitchers on their roster. So I'm going Mookie Betts for walks.
I don't have to waste any any pick on a Walker now. I'll go base stealer next. I'll go Trey Turner.
Nice.
Suck. That's terrible.
Fast little guy, gets on base a lot.
Terrible pick.
And then I'm gonna swing over to strikeout pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take Shane Bieber, leading the league in strikeouts right now. We'll go with him.
Okay. This leaves me in a tough spot here. Yeah, I want to give me Garrett Cole for strikeout pitcher.
It's a good one. It's a good one. You know he uses that spider tack though.
Oh yeah.
But he didn't use it the other night, and he struck out like 12 guys. So
How about pitcher most likely to get caught using spider tack?
That's a good one.
yeah, that'll be a
Save that for
tiebreaker.
next
We
week.
should take one for that. I'm gonna say Jacob DeGrom. Cheater.
Bold pick. All right, I'm gonna go with for my anti DeGrom. I'm gonna go with Brad Keller.
And the problem with that particular, well, no, that's not a problem. Strikeouts and walks are a problem because you need to know if you're lined
Guys,
up to get two
twice.
starts or one star.
that
We
is true.
thought about that, but we thought that because our plan is you have to keep this team, you can sub out one guy each week.
Okay.
So in the
Gotcha.
end, it'll kind of roll around.
Yeah, hopefully
And you'll be able to
Okay.
get an even amount.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is something you have to think about when you switch out a guy for a week. If you're going to switch somebody, you probably want to switch a pitcher and say, this guy's going to get 2 starts this week, so I'm going to pick up this guy.
All right, well, is it my turn?
Yep.
I'm going to take, was it the walks?
Serial walker or a guy who walks a lot?
I'm just going to take, what
I
is
already
it?
took a serial walker. Yeah, it's a guy who walks
Pitcher
a lot.
walks.
Yeah.
Only because this guy's got a 3.5 ERA, so that means he's going to give you some innings. But he walks a lot of guys. John Gant from the Cardinals.
Nice.
Leads the league in
number
walks.
1 walker in the league, yeah.
I mean, Blake Snell's number 2, but he's got a 5.29 ERA, and Blake Snell rarely goes past the 5th inning. So he doesn't give you a lot of innings. Gant will give you some more innings. So I'll go with
That's a
Gant.
solid pick.
Well, he leads the league, so got a shitty whip, even though he's got even a 3.5.
All right. I'll go let's see. I need 4 positions still. I'll go strikeout batter next. I'll go Randy Arozarena.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted Randy on the team. I love Randy. I think he's a great strikeout batter. I think he'll K up a good amount of times for me this week. And for my Johnny Walker, I'll go Yerman Marquez.
All right. I've been eyeing him. So apparently he pitched today, 8 innings, no walks.
So he's due.
He's due.
That's big. That's great actually. Or it's terrible. We'll see.
All right, we got Jack for 1.
Strikeouts. Javi Baez got taken.
Yep.
He's
You
gone.
know, who really strikes a lot. Joey Gallo. Every time I turn on Joey Gallo with Texas, he's
either walking or striking out apparently.
So I'm
Or
gonna
hitting
go
a home run.
Gallo. Joey Gallo.
Good one. It's a good one.
His father's
on
a
my list.
mafia boss, so I think
So
it's a good
obviously
pick.
he's gonna strike out.
Yeah,
a lot.
obviously he strikes out a lot.
Yeah. With the babes. Strikes out a lot with the babes. It's kind of fat.
All right, this next
not
guy,
good.
I'm debating whether to take him for home run hitter or base stealer, but I guess I should take him for base stealer. I'll go with Ronald Acuna.
It's a good one.
And then for my Johnny Walker, I'm going to go with Nick Pivetta from the Red Sox.
Okay. Yeah, the Red Sox have a lot of guys who walk people apparently. Is he getting 2 starts this week?
I don't know. I didn't do that much research. I probably should have.
Strikeout
I didn't
pitcher.
either, so no worries.
I can't take DeGrom because he's only going to give you 5 innings. But you know who I do? I love
Yeah.
Zach Wheeler. Give me some Zach Wheeler.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a good
he's
one.
on my list. I love him. I'm sure he'll do you proud. All right, my last 2 picks here, huh?
Yep.
I will go Gallo for walks.
Gallo's already been taken.
Oh, I can't take him if he's already taken. That's right.
Ah,
Then I'll go Yandy Diaz. I need a
Yeah.
Randy and a Yandy.
You're watching a lot of Rays games.
Yeah, I mean, if your name ends in Andy, I'll take you. And for my anti DeGrom, I'm gonna go. I don't know who this guy is, but I'm going Dylan Bundy. Dylan Bundy, an angel, ironically with a serial killer's name. So I had to go with him.
Yep. He's one of the guys I think probably most affected by the crackdown on spider tack. I think he was widely known as a guy who got better because of it.
Good. That means he'll get rocked his next start, and then sent back down to the minors after I'm done with him.
Oh, wait a minute. So someone's going to take the time to calculate this guy's ERA over 1 or 2 starts?
Yeah.
Well, it's mostly spin rate
That's
as
not
well.
readily
that you-
available. You have to do the math yourself, you know.
With the spin rate?
No, the ERA.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to do the
It's
amount
pretty
of
easy over
runs
3
allowed.
starts.
Would
So,
be
yeah.
a calculator.
I'll calculate all the scores before the next episode.
Yeah, it's
All right,
gonna
well,
be runs allowed.
I got ERA next, and I'm going to go my favorite Polish pitcher, Fultonevich, former Brave, Fultonevich. They got rid of him at the right time. What did they get for him? Did they?
Like Fulte,
Fulte
Polish All-Star,
sucked. Killed the
and
Mets.
Andrew with the final home
Final
run
pick,
hitter.
Mr. Irrelevant, with my
Free agent.
boy Otani-san, Shohei Otani.
Yeah, Otani-san. He's a beast. Not a bad pick. So we got some pretty good lineups here, I think. And it'll be interesting to see who will be in the lead next week. It's fun because now I get to watch anybody whose team I picked and just look for them to either strike out or walk somebody or strike somebody out.
Yeah, it's
Which
good. You get to root for every possible outcome.
Yeah, when that guy comes to the plate. That's fun. We'll see how it turns out. I think I'm gonna win by a lot, personally.
I look good. I look very good.
Yeah, Jack's got a solid team.
Yeah.
Whit Merrifield, never heard of him. Then we'll move on to the last thing of the week, music of the week. So this is going to be a section where we talk about an album that we've all listened to. But this week, since it's our first, we're going to get a suggestion for an album to all listen to and then discuss at the end of the next episode. So I'm going to throw this one. Jack, you're not going to be here next Wednesday, are you?
Correct. I will not be here. So you can
All
pick
right.
one.
So you should pick one, and me and Andrew will talk about it.
What?
Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? If I picked it and then just Andrew talked about it.
You guys want me to pick a record for you to talk about next?
It doesn't have to be anything you've heard. It can be anything. It can be anything. We're gonna listen to it, and we're gonna pick favorite songs, rank it out of 10, say what we think about it.
Okay, I'll just say Bob Dylan, Blonde on Blonde.
All right. That's like his best album, I think.
I never heard it, so you guys
All
can
right.
tell me
Well,
all about it.
Well, you're supposed to listen to it too, then I guess, huh?
I guess I will.
All right, Bob Dylan, Blonde on Blonde. I've heard it's very good, but then again, I heard that from Rolling Stone's Top of 100 Records, and
Yes, you heard it from a lot of people other than me.
I heard that that list was pretty bad. So we'll see. Well, that's it. That's a wrap on the
All right,
first ever
boys.
episode of Loogie. That was a good
Very
one.
good.
It was a pleasure talking to you guys.
Indeed.
that was fun.
Okay, too. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for episode 1 of Loogie. Catch you next Wednesday.